Good morning, students. Welcome to English class. Children, today we are going to see one of the language study lessons, that is punctuation mark, which is on your workbook page number 65. Children, this chapter is not new to you. You have studied, or I can say you have been studying this since your first standard, as you were introduced with initial punctuation marks like capital letters, commas, question mark, full stop. So today we are going to do the same, or I can say we are going to do the revision of it. So let us start with today's topic, that is punctuation mark. Before seeing all the punctuation marks, let us understand what are punctuation marks and why it is necessary. So what are punctuation marks? Punctuation marks are signs or symbols we use in writing. These marks make the sentences clearer and meaningful for the reader. So to make the sentence clear and meaningful, these marks are used. Okay, so let us start with number one punctuation mark, that is capital letters. A capital letter is used to begin every new sentence. So my dear children, it is used at every new sentence. For example, you can see here, he came to see me last night. So the beginning of the sentence, that is the word he, his H I have used capital. Let me continue my reading. His sister Seem was also with him. As you can see, new sentence has started, and so is my capital mark mandatory there. So the first word of the new sentence is his, and so I have used my his H capital over there. Same way, we are going to see sentence number 2, the boy went home. So as it is new sentence, the sentence first word, that is the, and the T is capital. So this was the first rule where we use capital letters, that is at the beginning of new sentence. Let us see number 2, where we can use capital letters. We can use capital letters for proper nouns. You can see the example, Mahesh lives in Surat. As you all know, Mahesh is a name of a person, but it's not a common name, it's a proper name. So Mahesh, M is capital. Same way, Surat is a name of a place, that's a city. So you can, we have to write Surat as capital. Similarly, in sentence number 2, Maya is sitting in the classroom. Maya is a proper noun, so Maya's M is capital. In sentence number 3, Max was born in South America. Max is a proper name of a boy, so my Max M has to be capital. In the same way, South America is a name of a country and it's a proper noun, so my South America's South S and America's A has to be capital. Let us see number 3rd place, where we are supposed to use capital letters. You can see words such as O. So O has to be capital. God, G always stand capital. I, that is a pronoun, I is capital, and even O has to be capital. Number 4th place, the first word of a sentence put within inverted commas. Even when the sentence is put up with inverted commas, the first word has to be capital. No doubt the sentence first word, first letter has to be capital. Also along with that, if the sentence is put up in the inverted commas, that inverted commas first word, first letter also has to be capital. As you can see in the examples below, she said, as it is the beginning of the sentence, so she, S is also capital. Even the word which are in inverted commas, this chapter is hard to learn, so the inverted comma first beginning word, this T has to be capital. Similarly, in sentence number 2, the poet said, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So the poet, the is the beginning of the sentence, so the T has to be capital. Beauty is a word which is given in inverted commas, so it will be considered as the first word of the inverted commas. So beauty, B has to be capital. So in this way, we have seen 4 places where we can use capital letters. I hope children you have followed this. Moving to the second punctuation mark, that is full stop. Now you have learned this in your very initial standards. Let us see what is full stop, or I can say where it is used. The full stop is used at the end of the sentences. Let us see few examples where the full stops are used. You can see there, Tom plays basketball. So my sentence is getting over and I have used my full stop. You can see a full stop in red color. In the same way, he gets up early in the morning. My sentence is over. So I have used my punctuation mark, that is full stop. We have more sentence to see. This is a tall tree. This sentence is getting over. I have used my full stop. Let us go home. Sentence get over. I can use full stop. The second place where full stop is used is, the full stop is also used to mark abbreviations and initials. Now what do you mean by abbreviations, children? Abbreviations means short forms and initial means the starting letter. Like you can say Mrs. Okay, so Mrs. is a short form. In the same way, you can see doctor. Doctor is a short form. So I've written my short form, and after short form I have given my full stop. In the same way, I have used my full stop for initial, like T and Kumar. So maybe the person name is with the T, but I'm not showing the full name. So I have just used the initial of that person name T, and so I have added a full stop. So in this way, we have seen 2 places where full stop is used. Moving to the third punctuation, that is the comma. Now children, let us see where do we use commas. Commas are used to separate a set of words, but not used before or and also we use comma to separate 2 sentences. So commas are used to separate set of words, when same category is given. So we have to use comma to separate those words from each other, but we have to make sure we do not use before these 2 words, that is or and. And commas are also used to separate 2 sentences. Let us see a few examples. Like you can see, I need to buy sugar, milk, bread, jam or butter. Now you can see there are many things. So I am going to add my comma after sugar, after milk, after bread, but not after jam. Why, my dear children? Because after jam there is a word or, and we have seen in our previous slide that we can't use before or. Same way, let us see second sentence. My favorite subjects are mathematics, Sinhala, English, art and N. So I have added my comma after mathematics, Sinhala, English, art, and there is a word and before and we can't put comma, as I have told you while telling you the rules. Okay. Next, third sentence. It is an old car, but it is very beautiful. Now you have to see that I have put a comma after car. Now why? Because there are 2 sentences here. One is telling that it is old car, and the other sentence is telling me that it is a beautiful car. So while separating 2 sentences, I have to use my comma, and so I have used it after the word car. And in this way, we have seen that how can we use commas. Moving to the fourth punctuation mark, that is the exclamation mark. Let us see where can we use this. We use exclamation mark after a word or group of words showing strong feelings such as surprise, anger, shock, or when giving a command. You know what do you mean by command? Command means while giving an order. So let us see example. Wow, it's very fast. My dear children, wow is sudden feeling. So I have used my exclamation mark after sudden feeling. Watch out. It's like an order. So I'm using after that. What a beautiful day. Again expressing your feeling. So I've used after day. In this way, we have seen that where can we use our punctuation mark, that is the exclamation mark. And by the way, if you pay attention, or if you might have noticed, on every slides I have not only given the title of those punctuation mark, but I also shown their symbols. Like you can see the red symbol of exclamation mark. Yes. Moving to the fifth punctuation mark, that is the question mark. Let us see where can we use question mark. You can see there is a symbol of question mark on my slide. The question mark is used at the end of every question. Whenever the sentence is actually not a sentence but a question, we are supposed to use question mark at the end of that particular question. Let us see a few example. What are you doing? So my dear children, it's a question wala sentence, so I'm putting question mark after that. Where are you going? Again question mark. Have you seen the new film? Again question mark at the end of the question. So in this way we have seen where can we use the punctuation mark, that is the question mark. Moving to the sixth punctuation mark, that is quotation marks. Now quotation marks are also known as inverted commas, my dear children, and mostly inverted commas are used while writing direct speech. So they are used to mark off the exact words of a speaker. And why inverted commas or quotation marks are used? They are used when we say the exact word of the speakers without changing those words. Like let us see example number 1. The teacher said time is money. So what are the exact words of teacher? Time is money. So these words has to be these words need to be quoted with the inverted commas. So I have quoted these words with the inverted commas, like you can see, before time and after money. And please make sure you have to put double inverteds. Yes. In the same way, number 2, she said come here. It's an order sentence. She said, what does she say? Come here. That's the actual word of the speaker. So I'm gonna quote it with the double inverted commas. Number 3, she said I'm studying to become a teacher. What did she say? That I'm studying to become a teacher. So these are the actual words of the speaker, that is she. So I'm gonna quote it with my double inverted commas, or also I can call it quotation mark. In this way we have seen how to use quotation marks or inverted comma. Moving to 7th punctuation mark, that is the apostrophe. This is the symbol of apostrophe. It is much more similar to comma, the shape, but only the change is that commas we use down and apostrophe we use at the top of the word. So let us see the definition. The shape of the apostrophe mark is also same as the comma, but we apply apostrophe mark on the top of the word. We use it to show that something belongs to someone. Where do we use? Number 1 place is to show belonging, that this thing belong to someone. Like I say Rima's pen. So whose pen? Rima's. Let us see few example. The apostrophe, that is John's little red car. So whose little red car? John's. So I'm gonna put my apostrophe on the top of the word with the S following there, which shows belonging, that whose car it is? John's. In the same way, this is my sister's bedroom. Whose bedroom? Sister's. So I'll show this belonging by putting apostrophe mark on the top of the word followed by S. In the same way, let's see third sentence. My friend's house is big. Whose house? My friend's. So putting apostrophe on the top of the word followed by S. So in this way we have seen that apostrophe is used for belonging. Let us see the second place where we use apostrophe. The apostrophe is used to indicate the omission of a letter or letters to form contraction or shorten words. Now this says that it is also used to omit certain alphabet or alphabets to form short form of the words. For example, you can see I have shown the word don't, it's, and let's see how did I get these words. These words have been formed by omitting letters from two words and using an apostrophe to join them. Okay, let us see. Like this is two word. Do not is two word. Do not is a word which is formed by two words, and when I have to make contraction or when I have to shorten the word, I omit not's o and I make it don't by putting apostrophe on that o's place. I hope you're following. In the same way, there are two words, it is, but if I have to shorten or make it contraction, I'll write it's, and I'll omit that particular alphabet or letter, that is I, and instead of that I'll give my apostrophe. In the same way, my third word is let us, again made up of two words, but I'll omit us, you, the you from the word us, and I'll shorten the word, or I can make its contraction, that is let's, by replacing that you, I'll omit that you and I'll add apostrophe in place of that you. So in this way we have seen two places where we can use apostrophe, that is one is contraction and other is belonging. And in this way we have also seen all 7 types of punctuation marks. Children, this chapter is very easy. It's just a repetition of your lessons which you have studied in your initial standard. Yes, so I hope that is clear to you. Standard 9th also have exercise on it. The answer key is shared through PDF. Please complete your notes, and standard 10th is supposed to go through it and try to learn it. So that was for the day. I hope you have followed it. Meet you soon in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Thank you.